taking this country back. No one in the audience should be despairing. No one should be discouraged. We ought to be really encouraged by what happened yesterday. And in spite of all of the injustice, which of course friends and audience of this show, of our friend Steve know, we are going to prevail.
All right. So during an appearance on Steve Bannon's War Room podcast, Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation, insisted that despite overwhelming national opposition, Project 2025 will prevail, largely thanks to the recent Supreme Court decision regarding presidential immunity. So before we actually dive too far into this, I want to talk about the Heritage Foundation very quickly. The Heritage Foundation calls itself a research and educational institute whose mission is to build and promote conservative public policies. Among those policies are what you would expect: education choice, border security, free and fair elections, inflation and spending, abortion rights, etc. They also publish the Daily Signal, which is an online news outlet that's said to have a strong right bias, and it is unreliable and problematic in terms of reliability. They have an internship program. There's not a whole lot of diversity there. Surprise, surprise. And of course, they are the ones behind Project 2025. Now, according to their website, now is the time for conservatives to rise up in the executive branch of government specifically. We're going to hear more from Kevin Roberts in a bit, but first, what do you think about him telling Steve Bannon's audience that in spite of all of the injustice, they will prevail? Should the rest of us be worried? Sharon, let's start with you.
Yeah. I don't know if we should be more worried than we were yesterday or the day before he made the statements, but we should absolutely be concerned. They mean it when they say they're taking back this country. And that means that people who look like the three of us aren't going to be in favor ever, if they get their way. And with these plans and lack of morality, integrity, whatever you want to call it, at the Supreme Court level, it's actually happening. He's right. They're winning.
Yeah. Cenk, any your initial thoughts there?
Yeah, this guy's super dangerous. And, as you'll see the talk about, we'll take over either, in a bloodless way, or presumably the alternative is to take over in a way that is filled with blood. And so not encouraging to hear from the guy who's planning the Trump White House and staffing it and all that. Now Trump putting out a statement today, distances himself a little bit from these guys, but their plan, you should know, is to gut the Justice Department so that because they're crooks, so they don't want a Justice Department. They got the FBI, so when Trump and his lackeys break the law, there's nobody to guard the hen house. They want to destroy the Department of Education. They want to replace critical government workers that have actual expertise in their areas, like white-collar crime, etc., with a bunch of Trump lackeys, goons, that will follow Trump's orders no matter what they are, whether they're constitutional or not. This bozo claims he's a constitutional expert. I think that's hilarious. I think he's a joke and a danger to the country.